Sensory acuity. Sensory acuity. Lesson 5, week 5 of Inner Compass Coaching. This we are borrowing from our NLP coaching background and NLP coaching and when it comes to sensory acuity, but we're taking it to another level with Inner Compass Coaching. So, and again, I have to say, if this is your first time with us, subscribe, like, share, etc. And if you want to know more about becoming a coach with us, you're not a coach with us yet, whatever it may be, then we'll give you a couple of websites. Number one, you can go to lifecoachlifestyle.com. Not a coach, or you'd love to get certified through the Inner Compass method, lifecoachlifestyle.com. You can pick that up. You can also go to sellingyourcoaching.com. So let's jump into what it means to have sensory acuity, use sensory acuity. And I'm going to attempt to do this in our 10-minute. I like to keep these 10-minute windows for these lessons. If we go a little above, that's okay. Hang tight. All right. So number one, what is sensory acuity? Basically, it means developing the sharpness to notice the small changes in your client or prospect when it comes to their physiology, their tone, their breathing, facial expressions. Being aware. There's people that cannot. You've met those people. I'm sure they can just read people. They look at people. They can read them. They can understand. It's almost like they can read between the lines. Well, that's sensory acuity. It's basically turning up the resolution on your perception. You stop seeing vague gestures and start seeing data. Okay. So what are we looking for? Eye movements. Now, let me give you some. For those who specialize in this and they're really into this, we're talking about interrogators. We're talking about people that are masters of micro expressions. They'll look at skin color changes, breathing rate, location. Are they breathing from the chest or the belly area? Posture shifts. They'll notice pupil dilation, muscle tension in jaw, hands, neck. I have used this in counseling. I've used this in coaching. I've used this in business. I have seen pupil dilation change face to face. Kind of hard to tell over a Zoom call. I have noticed that. I have noticed the breathing. I've noticed the swallowing. I've noticed the eye shifts. I've noticed micro expressions. I'm not going to teach micro expressions. That's another lesson. You can get very in depth with it, but I have taught it and I have studied it. And looking at the micro expressions of people can give you a lot. But for today, let's look at reading between the lines. The client, let me give you an example. If a client says, "No, I'm fine." You're talking with a prospect. Let's just go that you're leading into your coaching program. Or maybe you're working with someone that's already part of your coaching program. How are you doing today? I'm fine. But her voice tone drops. The breathing is shallow. Their shoulders are hunched. What you want to do in those places, you don't want to challenge them directly. But in the coaching or counseling, I'm going to ask, is it okay if I check in with something I just noticed now? Is it okay if I check with you about something I just recognized? Get that yes. Okay. Again, we're not going in the direction we thought we were going to go in with this coaching. We noticed something. And then we can begin to dig in. Hey, when you said that, I noticed your voice dropped a little bit. When you said that, here's what I noticed. Now, for years, I did coaching by telephone, literally with a cell phone. And so there was no Zoom, there was no face-to-face. I had to learn how to listen for body language. Okay, I had to listen. And so I would notice when they came into a place of despair, negativity, but also I noticed when there was excitement. And so I'd ask questions, I'd elicit a values. And then when I was eliciting their values, I would listen for that uptake. Like their voice would speak, they would speak a little quicker, a little louder, a little more energetic. And then I'd call it out. Hey, listen, hey, Susan, is it okay if I just share something with you? A while ago when I asked you about blank, or a while ago when you spoke about blank, did you recognize, because I did, that your voice changed, your energy lifted. I mean, I know I can't see you because we're on the phone, but like your physiology changed. Tell me what about that. Tell me what about that is so exciting for you. So this is where we're looking for, okay? We're looking to really recognize without words, but we're listening to tonality. And of course, now with Zoom or if you're face to face with somebody, you can look at their body language. So we want to calibrate, okay? So calibration is how you establish a baseline for your client's normal state, okay? Because if I just hear somebody talk fast and think, well, they're excited, that may not be. That could be their normal state. I have to establish a baseline, which means usually more than just I'm meeting with you for 5 minutes. But especially when you work with people over a series of sessions, then you can detect deviations from that baseline. So you're not guessing emotions, you're tracking changes, okay? So I want to observe a client in a neutral or positive state, okay? Neutral or positive state. So I could ask a memory-based question. Hey, Susan, when you think back to a time when you felt really confident, as you think about that now, what comes up? Do you mind, if you think about that now, would you mind sharing with me a little bit about what you saw or heard or felt when you were really confident? And what I'm looking for changes in their eyes, their breathing, their posture, when they shift emotionally during the session. And then I can reference back to those patterns. So calibration isn't about labeling though, it's about noticing. At the same time, as you think about times where you were not happy, things were maybe a challenge, you were stressed. And I'm looking for that as well. So I'm setting the difference. But if I can get somebody to a neutral state, then I can really get them into a place of I can calibrate what their baseline is. Okay. I know this seems like a lot. We'll do this more for our private clients. This is something that's really hard to teach. I'm just going to tell you this through a video. But in our private workshops, we're going to do it live. Private workshops, we're going to do it live. So you can see notice the differences. And then I'm going to teach you how to anchor those body language cues and gestures so that you can help people move away from negativity, move towards positivity, and so much more. Some really cool stuff. Anyway, so here's what I want you to do. In conversation, I want you to watch how people just watch their body in conversation. One thing to do is turn on any interview. Turn on who's your favorite? Joe Rogan, Sean Ryan, whoever it is, and just hit the mute button. Watch the breathing pattern. Watch how people shift. Watch their small muscle movements. And they lean back. And they lean forward. Watch the language, watch the body, and watch the body language. So powerful. So write it again, go on mute, do this. And what I would do first is mute it before you watch it. Watch maybe and say, oh, what's happening here? Joe Rogan leaned in, or Sean Ryan leaned back. Tucker Carlson, whoever you're watching, this is what they did. And now I'm going to watch that and I'm going to say, here's what I saw. Did I see disgust? Did I see curiosity? Did I see resentment? And then I'm going to go back and listen to it. I'm going to unmute it and listen to it, okay? But again, we're not trying to interpret in the beginning. We're just observing, okay? So you're not a mind reader. That's just reality. None of us are mind readers, but we're state readers. Okay, and the body never lies. So we want to train our eyes and ears to listen. Does that make sense? So sensory acuity, again, you may need to watch this one again and again. Very hard to teach until we do it live. So again, I'm going to say this, go to lifecoachlifestyle.com, get the book, sign up, let's go to work. I can work with you one-on-one on this, teach you how to not only interpret body language, micro expressions properly with sensory acuity, but also how to use that to be more effective in your coaching. So, all right, next week, we're going to dive into what I call clean language. Clean language. And the power behind clean language is how to ask questions without inserting our own ideas into the client's mind. Okay? How to ask questions without inserting our ideas into the client's mind, which is extremely crucial in the beginning of coaching. So again, guys, if you're watching this live or watching this and you're not a member yet of our team, that's okay. Just jump into lifecoachlifestyle.com, sellingyourcoaching.com, and be sure to follow us wherever you're seeing this for the next episode. All right, guys, make it a great day. God bless.